Hey there, Mr. Jumbo. Oh my god, I want to learn that song so bad. So bad. Hey there, Mr. Jumbo. Hey there, Mr. Jumbo. I can't believe that song exists. Oh, it's too good. It's too good. It's too fucking good. It's too fucking good. Margot! Margot! What's up, Margot? I'm manic as fucking shit. And I don't know what to do with all this energy. Girl, I'm fucking... I'm like the Energizer Bunny right now. And I'm not even on coke. I'm just like this. This is just how I am right now. Which probably means there's a very, very, very precipitous crash coming. But you know what? It's not here yet, so we're fine. How are you feeling today, beautiful? I am good, Ibrahim. I am actually doing awesome. For right now. Maybe you should take a shower and put new clothes on. Aw, bitch. It's almost like I already have. It was quite a bit earlier today, but it still counts. I might be wearing the same outfit as I was yesterday. I don't remember. But, like, I don't know. It's not dirty, so, like, who cares? Are you losing weight? I think I still am. I haven't weighed in a while, so I assume so. Certainly I've got other vices I need to work on too, though. But yeah, I mean, like, at this point, I don't overeat, which is something I struggled with for a really long time. At this point, the biggest thing for me is just making sure that I stay supplied with a fresh and palatable source of water. Like, I can drink the water that comes out of our tap, but it's well water, and our well has like abnormally high levels of sulfur. It's not like dangerous levels of sulfur, but it's got like abnormally high levels of sulfur and manganese, so it just tastes like shit. You know, it just does not taste very good. Now it's also got high levels of iron, so it is like, and honestly, the levels it's got are not unsafe or anything. It's just like, you know, higher than you would like it to be. Just like for like palatability reasons, but it's perfectly safe to cook with and everything. And the cooking actually like off gases a lot of the bad smells and stuff that would be associated with it. Like, you can make it smell just fine just by boiling it, honestly. So it's not that big a deal, but anyway, it does necessitate the grabbing of big old jugs of spring water, because we have a spring somewhat near us that does provide the most delicious and potable and palatable water that you've ever tasted. They use charcoal filters, separate all nasty stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We don't really have any nasty stuff in our water. It's not like it's like pollutants or anything. It's just like, I don't know. Maybe it's very, very ancient pollutants, you could say, but it's not like it's anything that has been done over the last century that's done it to the water. It's just like this area has area that, like, it's just like it's got a water table that's got that kind of mineral activity in it. It's also got high levels of iron, for example. So, like, ultimately, yeah, at some point I do want to get us, like, a 3-chamber water filter that I can easily service and switch out. But it doesn't really cause any ill effects other than just being kind of not tasty to drink. Like I said, by the time you cook with it, it doesn't stink anymore. And it's not unsafe to drink. We've had it tested. We get it tested regularly because, you know, you have a well, that's one of the things you're supposed to do. It's not something everybody that has a well does, because people are fucking increasingly stupid about the idea of how much they need to be concerned about their own health. But if you're going to be responsible for your own water supply, that's a big part of it. I have freshwater piped in house, but I still use a filter. Yeah, I mean, I think a filter is generally, preferred over no filter, just in general. Like, I think you can probably be fine without one, but, if you can have one, then you should. So, what do we want to talk about today? Let's see, we've got plenty of people in here now. The first thing I want to tell you guys about is that, okay, so let me just check Discord real quick to make sure I get the date right, because I want to be able to tell you guys about it. Oof. Okay, let me see here. So, Thursday, 8 p.m. PST, or Daylight Time? I don't remember. 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 10 p.m. Central Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Remember these times, because this Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific Time is when I will be having the illustrious Paul Zigo on the channel to debate me on a number of topics. I'm not going to give you guys all of them, but at least one of them you guys already know about. We're going to be talking about my take that church properties, especially over maybe over a certain size, maybe under a certain size, you can leave them out and just leave that for the contemplative use of whatever parishioners remain, and hopefully more secular world we might have in the future. But my take that we need to appropriate big church buildings and turn them into performance venues and museums instead of edifices that stand as a testament to excess. That's going to be one of the things. That's going to be what we start off with, but we've got a number of other topics we're going to go on to. You guys will have to watch the stream to find those out. So Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific Time, make sure you are there, because it's going to be super fun. Dog, that's such a horrible take. Why? What the fuck did you just say? I just said that we should appropriate big church buildings and turn them into performance spaces, art spaces, venues, museums, things like that. Community centers, maybe? I think it depends on what you've got in the area already. But yeah, I don't think the Catholic Church needs all that wealth. I don't think that the clergy need giant and increasingly less useful for their original purpose buildings that stand as a testament, a standing proof of their worship of excess and their absolute devotion to their own greed. I don't think the clergy needs that. Sorry. Call me crazy. You should run for office. We will have a lesbian black woman president before we have an atheist president, okay? And I'm not even saying anything bad about black lesbians. I think that whatever black lesbian president we have before we have an atheist president will be perfectly qualified. And Christian. Or deist at the very least. Dude, I mean, I recognize that this is a take that isn't feasible within my lifetime, but I'm going to go ahead and start preaching for it and advocating for it, and maybe eventually I'll write a book about it and defending it, because I think that a lot of people are going to be speaking the same line. Maybe not in my day, but in my kid's day. If he has any kids, then maybe in his kid's day, Barack was the last black president. If that's true, it will be only true because America fucking completely collapses and we cease to have an executive branch. It just becomes like the oligarchy of billionaires or something. as long as it remains a presidency, I think that a black man at this point has a fighting chance at winning the presidency. I think a white woman has a slightly lower chance of winning the presidency, and a black woman probably has a lower chance even than that. But I think a compelling enough candidate that was any of these things could still win, even right now. Like, I think if we called an election today and we had a really compelling, good, populist candidate who was like a cisgender black woman who was a lesbian, and she had really good policies and shit, I think she could probably fucking win pretty easily. But it would still be a very competitive race, I think. This is the worst stream I've seen in some time, so why are you still here? That seems counterproductive to me. Usually when I don't like a stream, I just like scroll up to the next one, you know? Or scroll down, however it goes. There will never be a woman president? I think there probably will be. Probably within the next 10 years. Maybe even in 2028. AOC may well run, and she may well get the nom. But even if she doesn't get the nomination, I think she's probably going to end up being someone's VP. And who knows, you know? Once you're in the position of vice president, I mean, we could have had a woman president in, like, from 2020 to 2024, honestly. Like, if something had happened to Biden, we would have had a woman president. So we've already been, you know, a pubic hair away, if you'll forgive the expression. Everything wrong with America right here? Wow, what a stellar argument. And that really explains your position, how it differs from mine, and what exactly makes me a problem. You stating things by fiat determines fact, not dialectical conversations where you actually arrive at some, you know, synthesis. Let's see here. Okay, that should make things a little bit easier to read in here. What is your pronouns? What is your pronouns? There's she, her, hers. I'm pretty sure they're in my YouTube bio. Does YouTube not, like, put them up somewhere? Like, I wonder, does it not? Let me see. Let me look. No, I suppose it doesn't. Does it put them over here? It does. So it puts them in my bio, right next to my YouTube handle, but it does not put them anywhere on the stream UI. Which seems like a problem. YouTube, get on that. I can donate, yes, 100%, thank you. Let me pin that, pin that message. We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. Why are y'all so obsessed with that old racist fool anyway? Blessed be sub mode. I know. Well, after you put only subscribers, it got real quiet. Yeah, no, I mean, that's because, like, a ton of the fucking people who roll through here, when it comes to, like, I guess you could say, like, the hit and run kind of people. I feel like there's some kind of better phrase to describe them, but there are some people who just bounce in and out of here real quick. And that, I would say, makes up like 30% of the views you'll see, like, when we're peaking. But a lot of people will end up hitting the sub button and, you know, just look at this spammer here, you know? What's that about it being quiet? What was that about it being quiet, you know? You see what I mean? Is that a blunt or a cigarillo? I don't know. What indeed? Are you Luciferian or Satanist? Neither. I just think spirit boards are a cool aesthetic. I know, I'm the worst. Religion is fake. It's all Bronze Age shit. 100%. Yeah, literally. I mean, it's not all Bronze Age shit because some of it is rehashed and has been reformatted and repackaged for the modern day. But yeah, basically, it's all Bronze Age bullshit. God is not real. I don't think there is a creator, Gratham. Well, at least I've never seen any good evidence for one. I think that if there is a creator, I don't know that it takes any interest in human affairs. And I don't know that it actually codified the way our lives work. I think that there's equally likely a chance that there's that as there is no creator at all, or a creator that basically just created like the laws of physics and the baseline pinpoint of matter needed to start the chain of events off. You know? That could be the story. And in such a case, that God would clearly not be able to have moral prescriptions for the beings that came out of that. And even if it did, that in and of itself, like just the idea that it created that thing would not therefore imply that it would engage in any sort of moral policing over the creatures that end up inhabiting that universe. There are so many presuppositions that you have to get behind willfully or ignorantly in order to believe not just in a creator and not just in a creator God, but in the creator God of the Bible, the Quran, and the Torah. In order to believe that shit, you gotta be fucking crazy. You gotta stack presupposition on presupposition on presupposition. You have to climb Mount Improbable and somehow find yourself at the top of that peak. But you have to do it on a mountain where the top doesn't exist, where there is no top. The top is illusory. Do you regret defending Graham Plattner the other day when I told you what happened and that he was going to drop out? Yes. I was hoping you would come back through. Yes, Rotten Mouse, I do. That was a fucking stupid take of mine, and it was a dumb look, and I probably shouldn't have looked past the red flags that were there previously. Mea culpa to you, and mea culpa to the Indian fellow I was arguing with about this very same topic, whose name I forget. Suspicious Affect or something? No, I mean, it really has made me, like, reconsider how much I look into these people and what kind of standards that I apply to their ability to have a successful candidacy and to push things in a positive direction. I think that's just the honest response. If I was religious, I'd be pagan or Native American because the stuff they pray to, I can see. I gasp, see. Yeah, no, for sure. Or Buddhist for the cope of reincarnation. Yeah, no, 100%. I think if you were going to engage in some kind of religious fanaticism or some kind of religious fanaticism, you could do a lot better than the deleterious social beliefs and harams and sins of the Abrahamic religions. And you could do a lot better than their weird, malevolent creator god. There are lots of, like, just look at the Tao, you know, the Tao Te Ching. I'm not personally a Taoist, but I can't lie. I can see how some people can get wrapped up in the idea that there is something to be garnered from the contemplation of these old philosophies. Okay, that's all I needed. Please just try and scrutinize people better in the future. No need to self-flagellate either. But yeah, I think part of the problem is we get too wrapped up in personalities. Oh, 100%. I think another part of the problem is that I know, I can't speak for everyone, but I know myself, I am desperate for any heroes in this situation right now. Can you blame me? Given everything we're facing, can you blame me? But I do see how I looked past a lot of things that I don't think I would have looked past if it had been a Biden administration or a Kamala administration. I think I would have been like, who the fuck is this chud? Looking back on it now. But really, I think the blinders came from the impression of like, we need to win this Senate seat no matter what. Unless something really egregious comes out that is like proven and verified, that we need to fucking just, grin and bear it. We can't fucking cancel all fucking people that ever participated in the military, yada yada. You heard the excuses. I was making them the other day. But I don't know how good a strategy that was, given how negative an impression that has left on people. So going forward, I know I'm going to be scrutinizing people a lot more before I put my weight behind them. Whatever little weight that is. I'm not saying I'm some influential creator or anything. I'm just saying there are clearly people that listen and care what I have to say, and I apologize for going so gung-ho after that, out of a honestly kind of a hack sense of like, we need victory here because we need to pull the country away from, and ultimately, like, I've never been a person that believes that we can't survive a Trump presidency. I still believe we will survive the Trump presidency, and I still think a Democrat will win in 2028. So I think I could do well with a lot more rationality when it comes to the like electoral fervor. Maybe a little bit more nuance, Damn it. Fuck. Can't get this fucking thing to fucking burn. Eli Tyrell, I'm from Mississippi. The South ain't rising, bitch. My fat ass ain't rising, okay? You can rise if you want to. You and your hayseed friends. My ass, I live in Mississippi. I ain't rising with you. My fat ass is gonna stay planted on this here old bench seat from a fucking Suburban. And I'm gonna watch you all go get drone striked from afar, okay? The South will not rise again. You know why? Because the South didn't fucking rise successfully the first time. What makes you think this fucking failed racist second attempt is gonna work any fucking better? You really think it's a good idea? Listen, the fucking power dynamic back in the day at least made some fucking level of sense. Weapons were the same thing on both sides. What has the fucking South got? What do you fucking racist hicks have besides fucking AR-15s? That's fucking varmint hunting rifle, motherfucker. You ain't doing no revolution. You think you're gonna fucking pull some fucking... You think you're gonna pull some white-robed revolution in the halls of DC, on the steps of the Capitol, with your fucking AR-15 and a hope and a dream? Get so for real. They got cows, they do. Maybe they will herd them all to DC and march them into the Capitol. It's a strange strategy, but you know what? It is one the Confederates didn't try, I'll grant you that. They will ride in on cows with, yeah. They'll ride in on cows with shitty old off-white robes made completely by themselves because they didn't want to pay the Klan's $300 robe fee. They'll be riding on cows with AR-15s. Most of them will be badly maintained. The few that are well maintained will be stolen from the ones who actually possess them and distributed to the one, it's going to be mayhem in the streets, and that's if it ever happens, which, by the way, it ain't gonna. Another reason why the fucking South ain't gonna rise again? Because the motherfucking South is way too busy getting fat on fucking fast food and fucking wasting their paychecks on lifted trucks and fat fucking goofball ass tires and shit to ever like put away the sorts of foodstuffs and preparations and rations and shit you would need to do if you were to prosecute some kind of armed revolution. These people are unserious. They're LARPers. Phoebe, why is being a Christian wrong? Because the moral prescriptions in the Bible are outdated. Many of them are outright immoral by modern standards, even some of the ones that modern Christians would probably agree with in theory until they were quoted on them directly, and every time they have apologetics for them. For some reason, though, they always want to include other rules in that same book as totally valid. But we're getting away from the topic. You asked, why is it wrong to be a Christian? Because ultimately, you are living your life on the basis of a lie. At least you are allowing your life to be dictated on the basis of a lie. Now, maybe this isn't true for every Christian. I do know some Christians whose relationship with God is a lot more spiritual in nature and a lot less religious, I would say. And I don't even know if I would properly classify those people as truly Christian, not because I think there's anything wrong with not being Christian, but because I think that they might have a more apt term to be referred to that would be perhaps more descriptive. But I do think that in terms of like moral and ethical weight, if you are a fundamentalist Christian, you are living your life the wrong way. I think you are maybe not committing an ethical wrong by having those beliefs, but I think that it predisposes you to commit moral wrongs. You may, as many religious people do worldwide, resist the temptations that your religion implants within you. After all, there are lots of Christians today, and I don't think most of them want to kill the Amalekites. But yet there are some who do. South, rise, LOL. I know, that's what I was saying. I'm from Mississippi. These motherfuckers ain't rising. These motherfuckers ain't rising off their fucking couch to go get themselves a beer. What makes you think they're gonna rise from their fucking houses to Washington, D.C. to prosecute some kind of revolution? That's not gonna happen. It can't happen. They're not able. They're not willing. They're not able. It's not real. The South can suck my balls. That's what I love to see, Red Minch. What's up? What's up? Have I ever... Red Minch, is that you in your profile picture? Is that you, dog? Like, is that a picture of you? That is me? Okay. I'm going to say something, and I don't want you to take it the wrong way or feel like I'm being rude or anything, or like I'm coming on to you. But you are, like, really fucking hot. Like, just, I don't know, like, damn. Good for you. You're welcome. Because every time you come in here, I'm like, I want to say that, and I'm just high enough to say it now. Because I feel like it's not, like, I'm not trying to hit on you or anything. I just think it's a really fucking good picture, and you're a really good looking dude. And I just, you know, like, that's not a compliment that I feel the need to dish out all that often. So as a person who likes complimenting people and being a positive influence, I feel like when I do, I should. Deadass, I thought that was going to go another way. No. I just didn't want you to, like, think I'm, like, creeping on you or whatever. That tickled me. I'm glad. It clearly tickled me a little bit, too. Positivity and compliments are very fun. I agree. They're so fun. People should do it more often. Makes you feel better, makes the other person feel better. Imagine how great the world would be if we were all a bit nicer to each other. Teeth the same color as our president. See, that's the exact kind of energy that we're trying to, like, ooh, you know? Like, you can still say that. Nobody's gonna ban you, but why, though? And my teeth aren't nearly that orange. That's just mean. Needlessly mean. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. So here's my number, so call me maybe. I think Matt has figured out that if you just quote a song and I know it, if you quote it in chat, I'm gonna sing it. I'm like a living text-to-speech prompt. The Butler event was... No, I don't think the Butler event was staged. I don't believe that for a second. I just think that there was a lot of people there and that people had been expecting something to go down for a while. But I don't think it was staged. Here's something I will entertain. It may have been allowed to happen because I think that that kind of thing is done way more often than something being properly staged. Because it's way easier to just let something slip through the cracks than to engineer something yourself. Like, if you're just trying to get a hit on somebody or whatever, it's way easier to just, like, engineer something. It's way easier to just let something slip through the cracks than it is to engineer something. Like, if you're trying to get a prosecution on somebody, then maybe you want to engineer something. But if you're just trying to, like, you know, the government has decided, for whatever reason, that this individual has to go. The best way that corrupt, dirty institutions could do that would not be by engineering the thing themselves, but by letting something happen. Are you wearing girls' clothes? I mean, I am a woman, so yeah. Yes, I sure am. I am indeed. I don't know why you got placed in timeout either. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You're back. Hey, you're back now, and this is crazy. But this Thursday, Paul's ego maybe. No, for real. Paul's ego, 8 p.m. Pacific time this Thursday. Paul's ego, this Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific time. 8 p.m. Pacific time, Thursday, Paul's Ego, on the channel. We're going to be arguing, we're going to be having some fun, maybe smoking some weed, you never know. Things can go all sorts of different directions with that wily old Paul's Ego. Taylor! What time? 8 p.m. Pacific time, Thursday, Paul's Ego. Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific time. 8 p.m. Thursday, Pacific time. 8 p.m. Pacific time, Thursday. I'm sorry, I don't know why. I'm like a broken record player. I'm Taylor, you need to know something, okay? I'm manic as shit. I'm like, what time was that again? Oh, it was 8 p.m. Pacific time, Thursday, Paul's Ego. 8 p.m. Thursday, Paul's Ego, Pacific time. 8 p.m. Pacific time, Thursday, Paul's Ego. 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Pacific time, yeah. 9 p.m.? No, it would be 9 p.m. Mountain Time, but it would be 8 p.m. Pacific Time, Thursday, Paul's Ego. I'm having too much fun with this fucking stream. You're not supposed to be able to make money having this much fun. What can I say? I'm not actually getting... You know what? I can feel fine about it because I'm not making shit in SuperChats right now. And that's not even me begging. I'm not even fucking, like... That's not a subtle beg or anything. I'm just saying, like, hey, you know, like, whatever. If you want to, you're fine. But, like, I am happy as shit. And that is cool. And I don't even need to feel any type of way about it. I hope Paul unbans me someday. You might just have to create an alt, honestly. What did you do to get banned anyway? Really, dude? Bitch, is that the best you got? Literally, why do men think that that hits women so hard? I feel like, Taylor, have me and you had this conversation before? I feel like it might have been you who clued me into this. I wish you'd write a book one of these days. I don't know if you ever would even be interested in such a thing. And you've talked about streaming with me at some point, which I'm so fucking glad you said that, because now I can actually have us on together sometime and we can have an interesting conversation, live for the people. And I know we've got rapport, which is the greatest thing about having a guest on, is when you've actually got somebody you've got like when I've got Matt or Paul on, it's always a good conversation. Margot, there's a few other people like we've got a good rapport, so I know it's going to be a good conversation. I'm scared to do it, but I will. You don't need to be scared to do it. I mean, honestly, the thing you need to be scared of is my dumbass saying too much, but I will be super fucking conscientious of it because I'll be afraid of it now that I said that. So, trust to my chaos magic that I will not dox you. I'm not actually that smart. Yes, you are. Oh my god, I can't believe you're doubting yourself like this. You are one of the smartest people I've ever known. I'm not even joking. Like, I don't know. I hazard to think of somebody who knows more about, like, I don't even know how to put it. I feel like you know more about people as a concept than almost anybody I could ever hope to talk to. Like their psychology, the way they interact with each other. You've got an ability to read people that outpaces mine easily. When it comes to history, you're every bit as able to pull up things out of history that a lot of other people wouldn't be able to readily reference. Like, I don't know. I feel like you're every bit as smart as I am, if not smarter, And if I can do it, why can't you? Does this chat not like having minors in here, or are minors allowed to stay? Yeah, no, this is 18 plus chat. It's just the way it's got to be. We talk about adult topics around here, and I don't want any minors getting fucked around with or, befriending adults through my channel and shit. Donut for chat while I paint and work out? Hell yeah, thank you, Joey. I appreciate that. You guys follow Joey's example if you've been enjoying the stream. Maybe Paul could be my uncle instead of being my dad. I think Paul is just a cool content creator. I don't know. I definitely look at Paul as one of the two figures I would say is kind of like an unwitting mentor of mine. But I feel like that's kind of like the extent of it when it comes to like me looking up to him. I definitely don't see him as like a father figure or anything like that. If anything, I see him as more of like an old California hippie guru. Who is Paul? Paul Zigo. Oh, did you not hear? Paul Zigo, Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific time. He's going to be coming on this channel. Man, now that I said that, I really Man, maybe I do have like very, very mild OCD or something, because now that I've said that phrase, I just want to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. But maybe that's just an autism feature. I don't know. Anyway, point is, 8 p.m. Pacific time Thursday, Paul Zigo is going to be coming on the channel, and we are going to be having an interesting conversation about a number of different topics. We're going to be starting off with the topic of the appropriation of large church properties to be turned into performance spaces, venues, museums, community centers, etc. And then we will move on to some other topics which will be disclosed and discussed at the time. So make sure you set your clocks for 8 p.m. Pacific time Thursday for Paul Zigo versus Phoebe. He is a YouTuber. Paul Zigo used to be on The Drunken Peasants. Now he's on Deep Fat Fried. Drunken Peasants was the big old podcast that got Milo Yiannopoulos in trouble by asking him like prying questions and getting him to loosen up a bit and talk about things he wouldn't normally talk about. And Paul was actually one of the people that was instrumental in asking some of those questions. He's been doing YouTube for a really long time. Has a bunch of really interesting takes on a lot of different stuff. We agree on, I would say, 90% of stuff. But one of the reasons why I consider Paul a pretty cool friend and someone that is really interesting to have a conversation with is because we disagree on enough and in enough critical areas that we can have really passionate disagreements while still remaining united, ultimately, I think, on an axiomatic level. I like to think that when Paul used the term mensch when debating Alchemist Soil year, he did it for me. I like to think so too, yeah. Maybe so. Phoebes and I disagree heavily on AI. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't talk about it all the time, but it is one of those things that when it comes up, it makes for very interesting disagreements, but I also think it makes Margot kind of annoyed with me sometimes. Um, but I hope you understand my heart is in the right place with that. Like, I agree with people's criticisms of like data centers being loud, obnoxious things that are drawing unnecessary amounts of water. Um, but my argument is always just like, well, yeah, because they're being done as cheap as they fucking can. It's honestly a thing that governments should be undertaking, or that like we should just be like funding as a public works project, so that it's got like a, because like you can make a data center that is perfectly soundproof. You can. It is possible to do. You can do it. It is incredibly possible to do. And in fact, many of the data centers that the fucking existing internet runs on are. They already exist. They're already out there. But they're throwing these AI data centers up so fucking quick and fast because they're trying to do it on the cheap with like investor capital and shit. And I'm not making excuses for it. I'm just explaining how capitalism ruins everything. Which is why my answer is to nationalize AI and to put it in the hands of the workers. I think that AI is another means of production and that it needs to be treated like that. And I don't know if you would agree with me or disagree with me on that, but I hope you at least see that my heart is in the right place with my advocacy on it. Oh my god. Okay, Gratham. Taylor is cool. Taylor is fine. I don't even know why you got timed out or banned or whatever, but, like, chill. I can't even see anything. Like, I don't even see where this happened. Like, I don't know if I have, like, do I have a record of it? Let me see. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so the thing that got you in trouble was you said, watch out with internet tards, Phoebe. Don't let your mods have your number. Um, and then you later defended yourself or called me out or whatever by saying, you going to let your mods ban me for saying Taylor's a religion tard? Uh, if that was your intention, then I would actually be okay with Taylor hiding you from the chat permanently. I'm not going to do it because I think this is between you and her at this point. Um, uh, but honestly, I don't like my friends to be called retarded. I think it's just a mean thing to do. Anybody on my mod team is on the mod team because they're either a friend of mine or someone that I trust implicitly to maintain the sanctity of this community and the usefulness of it as a productive space for conversation that goes somewhere. And if you've got a problem with any of them, you can talk to them about that without being a douchebag to them, you know? Like, you can be a douchebag to me pretty much as you want, but I do ask that you be nice to my mods because they put in a lot of work to make this a functional place. Plus, I feel like it's a little bit like teasing the lions at the zoo when you know that that zoo's enclosure isn't all that up to code, you know? It's kind of like having a lion enclosure somewhere in a fucking unlicensed zoo in the American South, and you decide to start poking it with a stick. I mean, at a certain point, can you really blame the lion when it bites your hand off? And besides, Gratham, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I was pointing out the fact that there are Christians, like my friend here, Taylor, that are not so, like fundamentalist Christians that don't live their life by a rigid framework of biblical law and don't prescribe that on other people. Taylor is not a bigot by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, Taylor was one of the first people that I came out as trans to. Taylor was the very first person that knew that I was non-binary before I ever came out as a binary trans woman. So she is literally the opposite of a bigot. I get accused of a lot of things, but not being a bigot. That's very interesting. I know! Of all the things I've heard you be called over the years. Oh man, boy, these Pall Malls are like this shit's like huffing fucking diesel exhaust or some shit. This is like, I don't know, going head first inside the exhaust of a fucking locomotive or something. I don't know why I made this awful decision. I need to quit. Excuse me. Well, I've sold myself into 5 years of economic servitude. I feel like under current capitalist conditions, that may be good. Depending. Are you saying you got like convicted for a crime, or are you saying you got like a good employment contract? Or like a decent employment contract? Got a new car? Oh. Worse. But better in some ways. That's awesome. I'm glad. Well, I mean, it's like, I am happy for you. But I also know that, it's like a big hit to anybody's finances anytime you make an investment like that, Um, So I always try to like temper that. But overall, I gotta be real with you. I'm still young enough to be like, new car. You see how it smells? New car. Can everyone still see my comments? I think I might be lagging. I don't know. I can see your comments. Good night, Red Mensch. Car loans are horrible. Take care of your first one and immediately start saving cash for the next one to avoid the horrible loans. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at my next car purchase is I do not want to finance it. I want to save up and buy it outright. Of course, one thing I wonder, though, is if I had the money to, like, one thing I wonder is if let's say I did save up enough to buy it outright, or let's say I saved up enough to, like, fuck, I'm so stoned. I don't know if I can word this the right way. So one thing, so I've been building my credit over the last year or two, and I don't want to say too much about it because it feels like it's stupid to, but my credit score is finally good. And I'm trying to think about ways that a person would structure their finances such that they keep that and open themselves up to more credit in the future should they ever, like, need it. Should it ever become useful. Like if I wanted to, example, buy property in some other state, which would be really fucking nice if I could eventually. But I don't know exactly how that would apply to financing a car. Like maybe there is a way that you can do that and then just be like prepared to pay it off in a way that incurs very little or no interest. I don't know. I got a good car loan. I was very lucky. That is awesome, Taylor. I'm glad. Because that shit can definitely fuck people over. I will make this everlast, though. Because the old one was the drive around in the country on gravel roads because we don't have anywhere to smoke weed car. And it lasted 16 years. Oh, heck yeah. Well, I'm telling you, with regular maintenance and like I guess that encompasses it. Literally, with regular maintenance and sometimes some proactive maintenance, you can make a car last a really long time. Honestly, a lot of cars get given up on long before they necessarily need to be, just because somebody's like sick of dealing with it or whatever. But then somebody comes along and makes it run for another 10 years or something. You know, what's crazy to me is that there are still, to this day, there are cars, people driving around every day in cars, using them as their get back and forth to work car, that are from the 80s. Quite a few of them that have been running that whole time. Just people like keeping up on the oil changes and the transmission fucking fluid changes and all the fucking like replacing the CV joints when they go out and bearings when they wear out and belts when they go out and shit. Just one piece at a time. I got it one piece at a time, and it didn't cost me a dime. You'll know it's me when I drive through your town. I'm gonna drive around in style. It's gonna drive everybody wild. 'Cause I'll have the only one there is around. I got a TDI. Definitely worth it if you take care of it. Diesel price scared me at first. I'm sad my next car probably won't be one. What is a TDI? My nose is so itchy. Anyway, Kansas is chill, I guess. It can be kind of boring sometimes, but it's pretty fun if you go to the bite mark. The bite mark. That's funny. What is that? The chunk that is next to Missouri? Turbocharged diesel intake. Oh. Why don't we take all the places and put them in the corner? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. 1 a.m. buddies. I'm in Mississippi. I, for some reason, always think Nanbot is based in Seattle. Nanbot, why do I always think you're based in Seattle? In my mind, Nanbot lives in Seattle. That is wild. I will be honest with you, Margot. You are one of the few people that my headcanon about you is, like, accurate to real. You know, like, my headcanon about everybody else gets fucked up and mixed up. Like, I will always think Nanbot is from Seattle until I'm reminded that they are from Kansas. Because Lawrence is the Seattle of Kansas? Okay. You know what it is? Literally, and this is going to sound so fucking dumb, but do you know what it is? It's literally the fact that you're a bus driver, so I'm just like, bus, big city, cool person, Seattle. Doo. Exactly. Buses, Seattle, obviously. Oh my god, I can't believe I was making fun of the Southerners earlier, calling us all hayseeds and hicks. Dude, I'm just as much... I'm just as bad as all the rest of them. I'm just not, you know, racist. But I'm just as much of a dumbass. I think maybe I'm more self-aware. Your ego is so big. Yeah, it is. You're not wrong. Yeah. Well, you'll get there someday. Ah. Rainbot? I haven't heard that name in years. Bus capital of the country. It's where BusCon happens. Yeah, haven't you ever heard of it? Everybody knows that Seattle is the longtime home of BusCon. At least we ain't built like a bus that can hold 100 people. You would fucking suck a dick to be me for a second, kid. And when I say kid, I don't mean I think you're literally a child. I'm saying kid to be condescending. Just thought I'd inject a little bit of realism into that fantasy world of yours. Only the big accordion buses can carry 100 people. Phoebe would have to be a wacky, bendy part in her tummy. Okay, shut up, Nambot. You're not fucking helping. The bus accusations. I do have a bendy... I do. I do. It's right there. I got fat rolls, Nambot. I have the bendy thing. You'd suck a dick to beat me for a second kind of goes hard. That's because I stole it from Eminem. I figured I'd wait to gauge the reaction before I confessed. Let's see, can I still rap Kill Shot? Rihanna just hit me on a text. Last night I left tickies on a neck. Wait, hold on. I wonder if I can find an instrumental for this. Let me see. Kill Shot instrumental. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. I had to figure out exactly where it starts. Alrighty. Rihanna just hit me on a text. Last night I left tickies on her neck. Wait, you just dissed me on perplex. Insult me on a line, compliment me on the next. Damn. I'm really sorry you want me to have a heart attack. Was watching 8 Mile on my note track. Realized I forgot to call you back. Here's that autograph for your daughter. I wrote it on a starter cap. Stan, son, listen, Dan, Dad isn't mad, but how you gonna name yourself after a damn gun and have a man bun? Giant smoke, eyes open, undeniable, sublime smoke, got the fire stoke, say you got me in the scope, but you graze me, say one caught it in a scope and you Swayze. Your pride got the crowd yelling whoop, so before you die, let's see who can out-petty who. With your corner line, send me old Al Kelly, ooh, but I'm 45 and I'm still outselling you. But 29, I had 3 albums that are blue. Now let's talk about something I don't really do. Go when someone started mouth stealing food, but you're a fucking molehill. Now I make a mountain out of you. Oh, chill, acting like you put the chrome barrel to my bone marrow. Gonna bitch you ain't a bow and arrow, say you'll run up on me like a phone bill. Spraying lead, playing dead, that's the only time you hold still. Are you eating cereal or oatmeal? What the fuck's in the bowl? Milk? Wheaties or Cheerios? Cause I'm taking a shit in them, Kelly. I need reading material. Dictionary. Yo, Slim, your last 4 albums suck. Go back to recovery. Oh shoot, that was 3 albums ago. What do you know? Oops, know your facts before you come at me, little goof. Luxury, oh, you broke, bitch? Yeah, I had enough money in '02 to burn it in front of you, ho. Younger me, no, you the whack me. It's funny, but so true. I'd rather be 80-year-old me than 20-year-old you. Till I'm hitting old age, still can fill old page with a 10-year-old's rage. Got more fans than you in your own city, little kitty. Go play, feel like I'm babysitting little Tay. Got the ditty, okay, so you spent your whole day shooting a video just to fucking dig your own grave. Got you at your own wake, I'm the Billy Goat. You ain't never made a list next to no Biggie, no Jay, next to Taylor Swift and the Iggy Ho. You about to really blow, Kelly. They'll be putting your name next to John, next to Benzino, die, motherfucker, like the last motherfucker saying alien vein, alien brain. You Satanist? My biggest flop, say your greatest hits. The game's mine again and ain't nothing changed but the luck. So before I say this bitch, mwah, give Jade a kiss. Gotta wake up later day to this. The fuck? Me and Rich shamed by some prick using my name for clickbait in a state of bliss cause I said his goddamn name. Now I got a cock back aim. Yeah, bitch, pop champagne to this. It's your moment. This is it. As big as you're gonna get, so enjoy it. Had to give you a career to destroy it. Lethal injection. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I fucked up at the most important part. Let me go back a little bit. Big as you're gonna get, so enjoy it. I give you a beat for the effort, but if I was deep for the 11, you cut me, and for the record, you would sucking dick to fucking be me for a second. Lick a ball sack to get on my channel. Give you a life to be a solidified. This motherfucking shit is like Rambo when he's out of bullets. So all good as a fucking machine gun when it's out of ammo. Had enough of this tatted up mumble rapper. How the fucking him and I battle. Let the fuck him in my flannel. I'll give him my sandals cause he knows as long as I'm shady, he's gonna have to live in my shadow. Exhausting, letting off on my offspring. Lick a gun barrel, bitch get off me. You dance around like a sun barrel. We can all see you fucking salty cause young Gerald's balls deep inside a hall. See your red sweater, your black leather. You dress better, I rap better. That a death threater, a love letter. Little white toothpick thinks it's over a pick. I just don't like you, prick. Thanks for dissing me. No, I had an excuse on the mic to write, not a like, but really I don't care who's in the right, but you're losing the fight you picked. Who else? Want it, kills, attempt, fails, button, L's, fucking nails. In these coffins as soft as cotton nail, kill shot, I will not fail. I'm with the doc still, but this idiot's boss pops pills and tells him he got skills. But Kel's the day you put out a hits, the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out that got pot killed. Sick of you being whack and you still using that motherfucking autotune, so let's talk about it. Sick of your mumble rap mouse, need to get the cock about it before we can even talk about it. Sick of your blonde hair and earrings just because you look in the mirror and think that you're Marshall Mathers. I mean, you are when you're not about it, so just leave my dick in your mouth and keep my daughter out it. You fucking oh. And I'm just playing, Diddy. You know I love you. So I think I would need to run through that a few more times to get it right on the money, but, you know, I think other than a few stumbles, that was at least on par with old performances. Who's your favorite rapper, Phoebes? Probably Tupac. Probably Tupac or Tech 9. Not Tupac. Think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. I think we're alone now. Absolutely nothing. Say it again, y'all. Transgressive music really can't exist anymore. I mean, it can, and it does, obviously. But, like, I don't know. Never mind. I need to chew on this thought a little bit before I let you guys have it. I've got it. Transgression is looking a lot different now than it did 50 years ago. That person's comment about K-pop got me thinking. Why is K-pop so popular with Gen Z and Gen Alpha? Because it is. It's a younger thing. It's a younger people thing. And it's not even one of these younger people thing that seems to be enjoyed by that many adults in America. It really is a thing that's like taking off with the younger generation, at least here in America. And I imagine plenty of other places worldwide if the statistics are anything to go off of. But anyway, I started thinking, well, what kind of music does the youth usually gravitate to? What have, like, the American youth, what do they do normally? What have they done since we started taking measurements on this kind of thing? And it's transgressive music, because there's this fundamental impulse to that comes with childhood that starts to subside, I think, in a lot of people as you get older, or starts to evolve into a more nuanced form at least. Um, but there's this rebellious kind of transgressive urge and desire. Um, and I think everybody, when they're young, kind of has that to some degree. And not everybody when they're young, but I think most people tend to experience some form of that when they're young. And as a result, young people tend to gravitate to music that they perceive a as an act of rebellion against the dominant cultural forces that they're being raised around. And so that got me thinking, okay, so why aren't the traditional forms of that? Because for the longest time, for like a good 60 years, what was transgressive was just harder and harder forms of rock, right? First it was rock and roll, and then it was hard rock, and then it was metal, and then it was punk rock, and then it was hip hop, right? And slowly all that stuff got normalized, right? And then this thought process keeps going in my head. And I think that it's a couple things. I think it's that it's been normalized in our culture, these different forms of musical expression that are, American in nature, or American or European Western in nature, or whatever. A lot of them have been normalized and are no longer transgressive just by their very nature. But I think some of it has been, like, I don't know if you'd call it weaponization. Maybe it would be apt to call it weaponization, but it's like the utility of some of these genres for causes, ideas, and types of music that, like, the originators of that sound never really intended. And I'm not saying that there's something, like, I guess, morally wrong about expanding on someone's sound, although I do think it's morally wrong to be a Nazi band. But I think that part of the reason why punk rock, for example, just standard punk rock, is not seen as transgressive anymore is because there are lots of boomer conservatives that listen to punk rock. Some of it original punk rock, and they don't understand the lyrics, or they've manipulated them in their head to make it make sense for their narrative. Or they listen to that plus some, like, modern kind of like Nazi punk type shit. And because you can basically find any band with any sound, with any message you want to, it's created a different set of conditions for what makes something transgressive, I think. Which is why I think folk punk music, for example, is becoming more and more popular. And I think it's why K-pop is becoming more popular. They are both transgressive in ways that punk rock fundamentally cannot be. Folk punk is transgressive because a folk punk musician doesn't care how shitty their microphone is as long as it's capturing things clearly enough. A folk punk musician doesn't care how they have to build their instrument. They just make one, and they make music with it. They don't care how shitty their guitar is. They make it work for them, and they make it sound as beautiful as they can. They don't care if their fucking voice is absolutely perfect. They sing what they want to, and from the heart. And all of that is transgressive against the idea that you need this um, fine-tuned, studio-refined sound. It's basically like the rise of outsider music. Folk punk is a type of outsider music, or at least it very much lends itself to that. And K-pop is transgressive in a different direction. K-pop, I think, is transgressive because it represents a a musical and cultural influence from outside of the West, which I think is cool and perfectly fine. But I imagine a lot of kids, boomer parents, probably look at that with a lot of disdain and or curiosity or whatever. Um, could you consider AI slop music to be transgressive music? Margot is gonna hate this take. Yes. Transgressive music is not always good music. What I'm ultimately talking about here is more like social trends than anything. But yes, and AI music, just as it happens, is more popular with the fucking youth, I would argue, than with any other demographic. I guess I can look into that real quick. Um, what age groups is AI music popular with? Most popular with Gen Z and millennials, ages 18 to 44. So, I don't know, man. Maybe. Maybe. Although that is a little bit, skews a little bit older than what I would assume for people that are listening to a certain kind of music because they want to listen to something transgressive, because they're trying to rebel against something or whatever. I think a lot of people that are listening to AI music are doing it inadvertently, number one. And number two, I think a lot of people that are listening to AI music are probably listening to their own stuff or like background tracks or whatever. And honestly, like, I don't know, dude. As a musician who can play an instrument and can sing, I know for a fact that Suno is not replacing my ass anytime soon, nor a competent producer, nor are any of the other AI music models available. But what I do think they're useful for, at least in my case, and I think in the case of other people who have some talent with synthesizers, MIDIs, guitars, whatever, they've got general music talent, even if it's just in FL Studio or something. What it's very useful for, I think, is brainstorming, um, giving you an idea of how something might sound, helping you to overcome writer's block or um, find a good fill or inspire a decent fill. And I also kind of think that AI powered music creation tools might be kind of neat. Um, like, imagine if there was like some kind of AI powered music creation tool just embedded into one of these back end audio fucking workshops, whatever they're called. Um, Imagine if there was one of these things embedded into one of those that allowed you to like create a completely custom fucking weird ass synthesizer voice or instrument voice for a synthesizer, I should say, um, that you could use as like a sample, or that you could um, like use for a big part of the song or whatever. What if it could help you smooth out the transitions in some of your arrangements so that it sounds better to the human ear? It isn't, like, I don't know. Would that be cheating? I don't think it would be, but I also think that like all other AI technologies, as it stands, it's being used mostly as a tool to generate profits for the billionaire class. And I think that it's a very nuanced topic, because I don't think we're getting rid of this technology, but I also think that artists deserve to be paid for the work that they've done throughout the years to, like, make humanity better by their creation, by their work. And I think that under the right auspices, under the right controls, AI could potentially be a means by which we could pay further homage to their work and further glorify the wonderful creativity and beauty of humanity and our artistic urge. But I don't think that's how it is right now. Right now, I think it's mostly a fun little brainstorming tool that maybe has some added functionality on down the line. But it's just kind of another problem unless we, like, iron out the kinks, right? I'm gonna. Oh, Margot, I completely disagree. Oh boy. Yep, I knew it. I knew we were gonna get into an AI argument tonight. How did I know? How did I know? How did I know? AI poisons the soul? Well, I don't believe in a soul, so, you know, I don't know. Does it? How, like, how so? In what way? Like, are you, like, do you really think, like, you're not seriously taking, like, the Vosh stance that it's, like, literally, like, demon technology? Like, there's something, like, essentially wrong about it, right? Or are you? Neither do I. It's a figure of speech. Well, sure. But that's why I asked if you would elaborate. I'm not trying to be condescending, Margot. I'm sorry if it seems like I am. I genuinely want to know. Like, what do you mean? Like, how so? Like, do you think it dulls the mind, or makes people less emotional, or what? I think that AI certainly can do these things. I just don't know if it does universally. I think she just means there's a psychological slash existential slash intellectual cost. But, okay, well, maybe that's what she means. And if that's what she means, I guess she can agree to that. And if that's what she means, then I think there definitely can be. And I think there needs to be safeguards on AIs to make sure that people aren't relying on them for social cohesion and shit. There's lots of directions that AI is going down that I don't agree with, that I just completely am like, nope, no. Like, we should, flat out shouldn't be doing that. Like, AI companion tech. I think there's some limited arguments for it, but I don't know, man. Kind of seems like maybe we just need to fucking address the things that make people want to socialize less. And it kind of seems like AI is just like the capitalists' solution for socializing. But when it comes to, like, researching the creation of art, coding, the formatting of text, the arranging of documents, drone shows. I think there's quite a few applications of AI that I can, conceive of as pretty reasonable. Yeah, I think AI dulls the mind. Do you think it does so universally in every case? And if so, what makes you say that? I think people should learn how to research without AI. What about people who do know how to research without AI? Like, I was in a few, like, dual credit, um, I think, like, four over the course of 4 semesters, dual credit English classes when I was in the last 2 years of my high school. Um, and a big part of those classes, a huge part of it, was writing research papers that were well sourced. And this was, I graduated in 2016, so this is well before the advent of AI. So I know perfectly well how to research without it, but I do find that it's pretty useful sometimes. It's like, let me pull up a brief overview of this information, and then I'll read through it, I'll see what it's sourcing, and if it looks good, then okay. Yeah, people do know, many younger people. Okay, well, yeah, no, I agree. People need to be still taught how to research without AI. If you thought I was disagreeing with you there, no, I think that AI can be a helpful research tool, but I think it's kind of like Wikipedia, right? Um, when you first start when you first start writing research papers, you'll be told over and over again not to use Wikipedia. Do not use Wikipedia. Do not use Wikipedia. And you'll always be told that you can't cite Wikipedia because it's a tertiary source, but that doesn't mean that you can't cite the articles that Wikipedia sources. And one of the things that you will hear, or at least one of the things that I heard as I got into my, like, dual credit classes, was basically, it came in the form of like a little, I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret speech. My teacher was like, I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. Wikipedia can actually be quite useful as like a starting off point for your research. It's not necessarily always the case. It can be edited, but you can look at the history of it to kind of get an impression as to what's been added or changed recently if you think something looks suspicious. And even if you don't rely on the article itself, you can look at the articles that article cites, and you can, like, verify the veracity of those. And if they are a useful source within the confines of your assignment, then you can use that. I think AI is kind of like the same thing. I think that before a person is ever allowed to have any access to any AI tool, like, number one, I don't think kids should have access to most smart technology, period. Not like full-throated fucking access. Like, maybe they can have like a limited little bit of like computer time or whatever. I was allowed some, but even that I'm iffy on. And I certainly do not think that kids should be allowed around AIs. But, once a person gets old enough and, like into the latter years of their high school career, I think that once they have been taught how to properly research and they've demonstrated a capacity to do that, then allowing them to use AI might be fine. Especially if you actually teach them how to still get like reliable results. Like, you basically treat it like you treat Wikipedia. You don't rely on the AI overview. You rely on the little articles that it's pulling up, And if it pulls up bullshit, then you call it out and ask it to find you more specific information. If it can't, then you find some other way to look for that information. And honestly, I think that it should probably still be taught as like a secondary or tertiary resource, so to speak. You know, like not exactly something you're going to go to like your first thing. Like your first thing should obviously always be one of these like online, like Google Scholar or something like that would be a better place to start with for most things. Like one of these compendiums of, I can't think of what they're called, like research databases or whatever. I cannot think for the life of me what they're actually called. But you get what I'm trying to say. I mean, I've used AI to code things mostly for pulling APIs and spreadsheets, but I also don't tell people that I can do that. Why not, Nambot? By the time I was in high school, we were allowed to look at Wikipedia as a bouncing off point, right? We just couldn't cite Wikipedia. Yeah, exactly. Prompting may be more useful in the future if you're really good at it. Yeah, true. I think one of the biggest problems with AI is people pretending they have skills that they don't. My little nephew was adamant that he was learning to code, but it turns out he was just prompting code. Yeah. Which that, I mean, if he, like, you can, it's called vibe coding, and it, like, you can make stuff with it. There are people that have made shit with it already. Plenty of people who've made stuff with it. I've even wanted to kind of experiment with it just to see what I can do, you know? Hell, who knows? Maybe it could be kind of cool. Maybe I could build some tools for my channel or something, make it easier for me to, I don't know. I don't know what I could do. Maybe I could make myself some kind of custom program. Oh, that's actually an excellent fucking idea. Maybe I could make myself a lightweight version of OBS that is only designed with the features that I need and with a UI that I prefer. You know, maybe that'll be my project. I don't know. But I agree with you that if someone is using it to front or try to do something fraudulent, that's always a problem. But I think that's the case with any fucking thing. And in any case, it's not necessarily like the tool that's the problem. It's like, you know, when someone like buys a money printer off the dark web and uses it to print bills, it's not the fault of the damn money printer. It's not like we, you know, it's not like the logical answer to that problem is banning money printers. I gotta turn off my mic and put in the battery pack. I guess I can just plug it up, actually. As a girl who spent over 100 hours in JSTOR, I think people should learn the reliance on AI is damaging for education. Oh shit, I can't see history on this one. Wiki also sources its pages, so does AI. Like, I don't know, like this is, maybe this is just me being obstinate, but let's just try it out. We'll do a live demonstration. I'll do a topic we all care about. Write me a relatively short summary about the history of the Stonewall riots, and make sure you cite your sources at the end. Don't reference any information that is not available in a findable text document online. Alrighty, let's see how it does. Let's see how it does. Okay, so I'm just going to read the summary, and then we're going to read its sources, and we'll see if there's any big mismatches. So the Stonewall riots, also known as the Stonewall Uprising or Rebellion, were a series of spontaneous, violent confrontations between LGBTQ individuals and the New York City Police Department that began in the early morning hours of June 28, 1969. The events, which took place at the Stonewall Inn in Manhattan's Greenwich Village, are widely regarded as a catalyst for modern LGBTQ+ civil rights movement LGBTQ+ civil rights movement in the United States. Context: the climate of harassment. In the 1960s, homosexual acts were illegal in New York, and police frequently targeted gay bars for AIDS. These establishments, often operated by organized crime, served as rare social refuges for a community that faced systemic discrimination in employment, housing, and public life. Police often use pretexts like liquor license violations or cross-dressing statutes to harass patrons and shut down these spaces. The uprising. On June 28, 1969, at approximately 1:20 a.m., plainclothes officers raided the Stonewall Inn. While such raids were common, the reaction from patrons that night was different. When police began arresting employees and patrons, specifically targeting those perceived as cross-dressers, the crowd outside began to jeer and throw objects at the officers. The situation quickly escalated. Resistance. Patrons refused to comply, and onlookers joined the struggle, forcing the police to barricade themselves inside the bar as the crowd grew to hundreds of people. Escalation. Protesters used parking meters to batter the doors and set small fires in the club. Continued unrest. The initial clash lasted several hours, but the protest did not end there. Demonstrations and clashes with police continued in the surrounding streets for several days. Then it's got a picture of the plaque on the Stonewall Inn, and the plaque is hard to read right here, but maybe I can zoom in. Yeah. The events that began at Stonewall Inn in 1969 marked a monumental change for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer Americans. Stonewall, which occupied 51 to 53 Christopher Street, was a gay bar that was raided on June 28, 1969. Patrons and a crowd outside resisted, and confrontations continued over the next few nights in nearby Christopher Park and on adjacent streets. This uprising catalyzed the LGBTQ civil rights movement, resulting in increased visibility for the community that continues to resonate in the struggle for equality. New York State Historic Site, 2016. So that's what the plaque reads. Significance and legacy. The Stonewall riots transformed the movement by fostering a new sense of urgency and visibility. Within months of the uprising, activists formed organizations like the Gay Liberation Front, shifting the movement from a strategy of quiet assimilation to one of open, radical demands for equality. By the first anniversary of the riots in 1970, the Christopher Street Liberation Day March was held, marking the precursor to the modern Pride Parade celebrated globally today. In 2016, President Barack Obama designated the Stonewall Inn and surrounding park as a national monument, cementing its status as a symbol of the struggle for LGBTQ+ rights. And for sources, we've got Britannica, Stonewall Riots, EBSCO, Stonewall Rebellion Ignites Modern Lesbian and Gay Rights Movement, Library of Congress, Today in History, June 28th, National Geographic, Why the Stonewall Uprising Became a Turning Point in American History, New York State, The Stonewall Uprising. It does use the Wikipedia article at the very end. Zen Education Project, June 28th, 1969, Stonewall Riots. And then it's got a whole ass video from History Channel, I guess. So yeah, let's just pick a random one. Let's go to the EBSCO, because I don't even know what EBSCO actually is. So, research starter. Stonewall Rebellion ignites modern lesbian and gay rights movement. The Stonewall Rebellion, which occurred in June 1969 at the Stonewall Inn in New York City, is widely recognized as a pivotal moment in the modern lesbian and gay rights movement. At that time, the rights of LGBTQ+ individuals were severely restricted, and societal norms largely disapproved of homosexuality. The rebellion began when police raided the Stonewall Inn, a popular gathering place for young, primarily African American and Latino LGBTQ+ individuals. Patrons began to resist the police eviction, leading to escalating tensions that turned into a full-scale protest. Over the next few days, the unrest attracted thousands, marking a significant shift in LGBTQ+ community's willingness to confront societal and institutional oppression. The Stonewall Rebellion catalyzed the formation of various activist groups such as the Gay Liberation Front, and it inspired widespread activism across the United States and beyond. It fostered a new era of self-awareness and pride within the community, leading to organized demonstrations and the establishment of LGBTQ+ rights organizations. By the early 1970s, significant milestones have been reached, including the declassification of homosexuality as a mental disorder by the American Psychiatric Association. Stonewall is celebrated annually during Pride Month, with the first Pride marches occurring on the anniversary of the riots, signifying ongoing advocacy for equality and acceptance. The site was designated a national monument in 2016, underscoring its importance in the history of LGBTQ+ rights. Authored by Barry Mann, published in 2022, and the full article is incredibly long. Incredibly long. But it actually sounds like it'd be a really fun article to read. So let me just say, just to, round this off, I guess. Margot, if you're still listening, obviously this article on EBSCO is a way better source, okay? And I don't think anybody would argue with you on that. Well, maybe somebody who really has given their brain over to AI. And I think that is a danger, right? I think it's just a danger that can be mitigated, and not one that applies universally to every single person, because some people do take steps to mitigate that. But obviously this is a better source. But the fact that I was able to ask the AI a question like that, and then it provided me a summary that basically contains most of the facts in this abstract, certainly doesn't get any of the dates, times, or fundamental facts wrong. It omitted the fact that they were mostly African American and Latino. I didn't know that, but that's something you would learn when you took the natural next step as a researcher of going to the source, right? Reading this thing and then reading this whole article. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you can use AI as a source in and of itself. I'm saying that you can use it as like a robotic research assistant, basically, that can provide you with a little brief and shit. And by the way, Margot, lest you think I'm, leaving some human in the dust, Matt is literally my human research aid. I told him I do want to pay him for his work if he's willing to fucking let me. He always resists any attempt I make to pay him, but I know that a human researcher has way more capability and directionality and shit than I know that they can do a lot more and have ideas that an AI will never be able to have, which is why I use both, right? I've got a human being that is a friend of mine and a fan of the show that helps me out in researching new stuff for the channel and good stories and videos to watch and things to react to, as well as stuff for projects we haven't talked about yet or haven't talked much about. And I also use Gemini. And I use Gemini mostly as a, give me a quick summary of this thing and give me some sources to look into to learn more about it. Or give me some book recommendations if I want to learn more about this thing. I just don't think it is necessary for research. Well, it's not necessary for research. But a car is not necessary to go from New York to Los Angeles. But it sure makes the fucking trip a hell of a lot faster, doesn't it? You know what I'm saying? You can walk there if you wanna. Hell, you can take a horse. I guess I'm starting to increasingly look at AI as, it's kind of like choosing to take the plane over a car, or the train over a car, when it comes to a long distance, right? And it's kind of like choosing to take the car over walking when it comes to a shorter distance. One positive use of AI I've had was learning how to use Blender. When I've got a problem and I know what I want to do and what needs to happen, AI is great for parsing general knowledge. Oh yeah, 100%. Same way with Arc. Dude, I use AI a ton when I'm playing Arc, just to like figure out like, how am I supposed to do this thing? What is the answer to this glitch? What's been going on with this thing? Yeah, is Matt's bad news coming up? You guys want to react to a TJ video if Matt's bad news isn't here? Okay, yeah, Matt's bad news or whatever. Matt's bad, what? Fucking religion is disgusting. Oh, hey, Phoebe. I feel like you're putting it on, Cyan. That's bad news. That's bad bows. Phoebe, I created a private channel in your Discord for future research while I'll place all this stuff. Is that cool? These roles will have access. Stream on. Go see Acolyte. Host/streamer. You expressed explicitly your contempt for matrimony. You student loans to pay, you will not risk the alimony. We spent our days locked in our room, content inside our bubble. And in the night time we go out and scour the streets for trouble. Hey, hey, marry me, Archie. Hey, hey, marry me, Archie. During the summer, take me sailing out on the Atlantic. There's a Phoebe Discord. I get it. No dweebs allowed. Matt, would you mind linking the Discord for you, gal? You're allowed, Joey. Yeah, people are allowed. I had to lock down for a while. Vats bad mows. Oh, Vats bad news dropped? Okay. Yes, me lord. Alright, well, you better find me some disasters, I guess. Let us know how the world's burning. Must be a DM. Yeah, it's a DM. By the way, your video has been stopping and going, buffering for like 30 minutes. What? Why is it so fucky? My connection has been dog shit for a while. Are we back? Tequila? You said you have Steam? Yeah, I got Steam. You got your first ear piercing? Nice. Yes. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Anyway, let's see what TJ has to say. Because a new TJ video just dropped. I'll let Matt pull Matt's bad news while we watch this.
You know what I'm sick of? I was at Domino's earlier. I went in because it's cheaper to go in because the price of everything seems to double by the fucking day. So save that money where you can. Come inside the Domino's. Get my pizza order. Guy says, let me go out in the back and get this other shit real quick. The sauce you ordered. I'm like, alright, cool, yeah. He goes in the back, he gets the sauce, he comes back, he gives it to me. And he says, have a blessed day. You know,
I agree, this shit is obnoxious. Like, why? Why do I need to have a blessed day? I hate it. I always hated it when I worked in customer service and food service and shit. Because it's like, needlessly imposing. It's like people want to talk about gay people shoving their queerness down their throats, which sounds homoerotic in and of itself, but leaving that aside, like, why is there never any talk about Christians shoving their religion down people's throat when they can't get through a conversation without saying God bless you, or God bless him, or God bless her, or God bless them, or God bless that, or God bless this, or God bless the scun, you know, like, what? How is that not seen in the same light?
for years I've been hearing people say that to me. You go to Starbucks, you go here, you go there, you go all around the town. Have a blessed day, have a blessed day, have a blessed day. And it's never bothered me. But I guess, on some level, it must have been bothering me. On a subconscious level. And it must have been building up. And today was the day. They just decided, I'm done with it. I didn't say nothing to that guy. I didn't say nothing to him. I just said, okay. Because
They wanted to, though. You know TJ wanted to. You know TJ wanted to go back to that place and give him an earful.
wasn't sure, you know? On the way back to my house, I just kept getting angrier and angrier about it. And it's like, what are you? Have a blessed day. Are you a shaman? You a fucking priest or something? Who has ordained you to consecrate me? Consecrate my pizza?
This is not the angle I expected TJ to take. I'm not gonna lie, this is not the angle I expected the amazing atheist, mind you, to take. I mean, I guess it's not that far off, but, you know, my general thing is, like, why are you needlessly injecting religion into... But maybe that's just, like, a base level criticism. This is some higher level thinking, I guess. Let me just... Okay, let him cook. Let him cook.
Well, this shit right here seems like it's looking to be blessed by you. And no offense to your profession or anything, man. I'm sure you got prospects and all that. I'm sure, look, I'm not looking down on you class-wise or anything like that, but I know for a fact that, the life of a pizza man is not a life of blessings.
Fuck you, TJ. Fuck you. What do you know about the life of a pizza man? You ain't never lived it. What do you mean life of a pizza man is not one of blessings? I would argue that there are pizza people that are plenty blessed. Like you could be a be a retiree and want to be a pizza person just because, you like the extra income and you need something to do on the side. You like to keep your mind busy. Or you could be a pizza person that's like, whatever, you're poor, but you're making ends meet. Or like, maybe you've got like a little fucking nest egg or something that keeps you secure. I guess it's usually a life of drudgery, but, not always.
Blessings to give out. Why are you not using any to improve your own situation? Why are you wasting them on me? I don't want them. You a pizza man. You ain't got no blessings, bitch. Okay?
I mean, if they didn't, like, TJ, if they weren't, like, if they did that, if they spent all their blessings on them, then number one, not only would they have none left for you, but they would also not be there to make your pizza for you. Like, you need those people. You need the pizza person. You need them. They're a valuable member of our society, and we should respect their contributions. And not only that, but I feel like there's kind of an implicit idea here that, like, you can't have a menial labor job and be happy. And I feel like that maybe just comes from the fact that I agree TJ could probably never have a menial labor job and be happy. But I don't know, I've had times in my life where I was happy working a menial labor job. I've definitely had times where I was utterly miserable working those kinds of jobs. But there have been jobs I've worked, like when I was working at Taco Bell and stuff, that, like, if I'd been making good money, or if I didn't really have to worry about the money, like, fuck, maybe I would have never left. I don't know, I probably would have left eventually, because I probably would have got sick of fucking dealing with people. But there were aspects of that job that I genuinely enjoyed. I think I probably would have gotten out of there once they replaced the whole thing with just kiosks, but up to that point, there was always a big customer service kind of atmosphere, like this idea that I was like, it was almost like having my own restaurant. Not quite, but I was like the forward face of the store whenever I was there, and I was the one people would interact with, and I got to kind of determine how good it smelled, and how well kept everything was, and it was like a good reflection on me. And there's a lot of stuff about that job that was rewarding, even if it was menial and low paying. And that, plus the fact that you utterly need people in positions like that to keep society running and to make sure people can get the things that they want, I just feel like that means we need to treat those people with, with some respect, and also with, like, kind of an understanding that people live all kinds of different lives, and that it takes all kinds of different kinds.
I don't need that shit. I don't want that shit. But you know what? I ain't gonna stop you. I ain't gonna stop you. But from now on, every time you say that shit to me, make me uncomfortable, I'm gonna say something back, make you uncomfortable.
Okay, now that's valid. Alright, now I can accept that. That's fine. That's legit. Because I still don't like a motherfucker saying bless you, or God bless you, or have a blessed day, or whatever. I still don't like that shit, so, like, yeah.
Have a blessed day, and I'm gonna be like, oh yes.
Alright, well, the train's coming, so. put this down for a second. Young guys with nice cars love pizza delivery. Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's actually like a good way to like flirt, maybe. You know, because if you're kind of attractive and you've got a nice car, and somebody like puts all those three things together, they might just be like, oh, you know, you want my number? By the way, I want the water that goes in my pizza dough to be blessed. How? Blessed how? Like Hindu blessed? Blessed by Muslim? Or like like Catholic blessed? I delivered pizza for a few months. Let me see here. On the side, got laid a couple times. I consider that a blessing. Yeah, see? I knew it. I fucking knew it. You know, I've slept with quite a few different people, but come to think of it, I don't know if I've ever slept with a coworker. Well, I mean, I know I have, but I don't know if I've ever, like, slept with someone I met through my work. Can you read my message history right from the Pope? The Pope is American, maybe the only Pope that has had Chicago pizza, maybe. Yeah, let me see here. Phoebe, I would like you to bestow a new person with, let me see here. A new person with this, let me see here. Group that I think will be important. Fact checker. I don't want to be responsible for making you and myself look dumb. Okay. Okay. I will do that. I'll have to think about it, though. Somebody might need to volunteer. I don't know. We might need a volunteer. Just somebody who can, like, look into the things that we cite and make sure that there's veracity behind it. Make sure that it's trustworthy. Like, I agree with that. I think that's proactive. Hey there, Mr. Jumbo. Hey there, Mr. Jumbo. They'll have access to that channel and we'll check it as I post it. Also, first bad news sent. Okay, cool. You'd be surprised how many single moms for just $20-$30 will put out for a good looking pizza guy. What do you mean? Wait, what? No. That's misogynistic. Nope, I don't buy it. Misogynistic reporting. No way. 20 or 30 bucks? Put out how? I could believe a blowy for that much, maybe. Also, it was fucked but didn't mind. Okay, well. Alright then. Well, anyway, we're going to finish this TJ response, but before I do that, I need to go use the bathroom real quick. So I will be right back. Oh, God. I stood up way too long now. Oh. I'm a broken woman. I have been beaten upon the wheel. Nope.
Hey there, Mr. Jumbo.
Hey there, Mr. Jumbo. Hey there, Mr. Jumbo. Sorry, I'm sorry. I apologize. Anyway, what's up? Kitty stream. Kitty stream. Here she comes to wreck the day. I still cannot believe that I managed to get somebody pregnant sometimes. It's just like, mind fuck. It's crazy. Did you ever look into the Son Destiny drama? Well, you know, I'll be honest with you, Paradox Frequency. I did not become a Destiny or a Son fan overnight, so no. No, I did not. No, I sure didn't. At least I'm honest. At least I ain't sitting here fronting. Nanbot, man. Oh my god. You know. You know, hon, have you ever, like... Have you ever thought about just, like, not? I don't know, dude. Why did I hear that in the Borat voice? Do you watch Vosh? A little bit. Lately, I mainly make fun of Vosh in his comments, but, you know. Oh, yeah? We got a Brett Keane video? Oh, from 6 days ago? Oh, fuck you. Goddamn stupid-ass YouTube. Ooh. Brett Keane and Eve talk atheism daddy issues? Let's see if there's anything interesting in the transcript. I'm looking through the transcript of this Brett Keane video to see if there's anything in here. Oh my god. I guess the fucking old walrus kept his, kept my name out his mouth. Because I certainly can't find any references. Anyway, back to the TJ video.
You say have a blessed
It
day.
was a Borat reference, so you're on point. Nice.
Aw. Every time you say that shit to me, make me uncomfortable. I'm gonna say something back, make you uncomfortable. You say have a blessed day, and I'm gonna be like, oh yes, the Dark Lord blesses me every day, or some shit like that.
Alright, I like that.
More.
I like
And I know
that.
it's not a big thing, it's a little thing. But you know, a little thing over and over again, over a long enough duration of time, kind of becomes a big thing, don't it? That's what I learned. So, maybe keep your blessings to yourself.
1 second, let me just do something real quick. And see, I don't think TJ actually believes this. I think if someone really did have some blessings to bestow upon him, he would like those blessings. Like if they were real blessings. Like $1 million is a blessing. Even if you don't believe in like religion and shit. But he probably don't want people's like nonsense religious spiritual blessings, which are much less tangible. You know, it's weird. I started painting my 40K in composition models as you were talking about church earlier. Weird connection. That is strange. Isn't it weird how that works sometimes? The universe works in mysterious ways, my friend. The universe, man. The universe, dude.
Tell you what, someone come in with a little cross dangling around their neck. Maybe give them a blessing. I'm sure they'd like it. They'd appreciate. Oh yeah, you too. But me, you know, like, I don't know. You know, it's more of a gamble. Maybe you think I need it more. Oh, sinner. You know, he needs the blessing more than anyone. No, it's useless to me. I have no use for the fucking thing. To be honest with you, you guys have been blessing me all this time, and I used it once. I've been throwing them blessings in the trash. As soon as I get home, fuck that blessing. I'm here for the pizza, not the blessing. Sorry. So, you know, quit wasting your effort, quit wasting your blessings. Maybe spare a few blessings for yourself. Maybe if you bless yourself more, you wouldn't be working as a fucking pizza man, huh?
Yeah, see? TJ hates pizza men. TJ hates pizza men, confirmed. TJ, classist monster that hates pizza men. What's his shirt say? His shirt says, "My wife stabs people." She probably does. Chelsea's kind of crazy, but in a good way. In a cool way. In like a sexy goth way.
Maybe. I don't know. Not trying to be elitist about it. Lord knows I ain't got nothing to be elite about. Look at me, for fuck's sake. Just saying. You know, maybe,
You can't just say, "I'm not trying to be elitist about it," just saying. And, like, have that absolve the elitism.
maybe you ain't got the magic touch, you know? Maybe you don't have the blessing power that you imagine you do. I don't know when I don't remember that shit when I was a kid, you know?
Okay.
When I was growing
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like you might not have been... he might not have been paying attention, or he might not have been in the right environments and crowds, because, like, when I was a kid, I definitely heard that type of shit all the time. That was something I heard constantly.
I remember it being "have a nice day." That was it. Everywhere you fucking went, "have a nice day, have a nice day, have a nice day." And then at some point in my life, everybody started having "have a blessed day." I don't need that from you. You a clerk. Bitch. Give me my fucking change. I don't even need that "have a nice day" from you. You could just shut the fuck up and do the transaction. That'd be even fucking better. I don't even need you to do the fake smile.
Okay, yeah, but how the fuck are we supposed to tell you from the motherfucker that comes in right behind you that does care about all that pretentious bullshit? See, that's the problem I always feel like with these takes, is that they don't account for the fact that, like, I don't know, man, society is full of a bunch of different people, and a lot of things are just kind of on the basis of broader society thinking that's, like, how things should be. And I agree that it's not always sensible, but, like, in this instance, it's like, okay, so the reason why the clerk is always going to do that fake smile and the niceness thing and shit is because here in America, that is seen as the difference between someone who is friendly and competent and someone who is miserable and doesn't work. And it's not even true. Like, you can be a rude bitch but still be super productive. I've worked with plenty of people like that. And you can be really, really, really nice and really sweet and kind of a fucking doormat and not all that fucking productive either. You know, like, there are different types of people. And it's important to remember whenever you're in a situation like this that you're dealing with a person who's being paid literally to do what they're doing. Whether you like it or not, like, that is what they are being paid to do. So, like, that's, like, they're technically, like, they are correctly executing the duties of their job. Like, they're correctly discharging those duties. I just don't think that, like, honestly, it does need to go away. The bless you thing, the blessed day, all this bullshit. But I do have a big well of empathy in my heart for somebody that is just trying to get through their day. And I think that there are some people, especially in the South, that will say, have a blessed day, just because for some reason that's what's baked into their head as the least offensive and best smile generating phrase that they can use. And I agree that it's stupid, but I feel like he's putting a lot of his ire on, I feel like he's putting a ton of his ire on the pizza man or the clerk or the shop person or whatever, and not on the management structure and this weird American culture that we have that demands constant weird niceness out of everyone. Because it's a cultural expectation. It's not, that clerk is not the person that is to be criticized in this equation. The person to be criticized is the old boomer that forces that clerk to be that way, basically, by their domination of the market, essentially. And it's the people who go along with that mindset and that idea.
You know, like, you're fucking so happy to fucking be some wage slave serving me. You ain't. You ain't happy. I ain't happy. Nobody's fucking happy about what's going on here. You know? I am there to buy substandard slop because I'm too fucking lazy to cook. Or I need some caffeine because I fucking have no energy or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, and you
You're
better...
there because you're
And you better be fucking thankful that they are.
a fucking wage slave. And, you know, we're both fucking cogs in the machine. We're both rats in the race. You know, so we don't even need any niceties. You know, and if it is, if you're gonna share a nicety with me, share with me a nicety that you both relate to. Like, man, I sure hope all this shit's destroyed soon. Me too, brother, me too.
Yeah, that's gonna come out of the next fucking Taco Bell clerk you come up to. Yeah, the next Walmart cashier TJ interacts with, I guarantee you, will greet him with a firm and pleasant, "Hello, TJ, how are you doing today? I sure hope that the world is destroyed and sublime nuclear flame soon." Like, I don't know, man. Seems unlikely. Okay, I gotta be honest with you, this is a great freeze frame. No.
Turn the system. Here's your change. Yes, to the ground, sir. Like, then we can commiserate a little bit. That'd be fine. We can do that. Have a nice day. Okay, secular phrase. Fine. Have a blessed day. Don't fucking bless me, man. Just don't fucking do it. You ain't a priest, you ain't a shaman, you ain't none of that shit. You have no fucking magical powers. You a clerk. You a clerk
What do you know
at the
what I
bakery
got?
factory selling me slop. I don't need this fucking blessing. I don't want this fucking blessing. Even if I wanted, even if I was in the market for a blessing, even if I was like, man, I need someone to bless me, I go find me a goddamn spiritualist of some kind, you know, someone who's in tune with a higher power, you know. some fucking priestess or magician or something. I wouldn't fucking go to the pizza man. I wouldn't be like, hey, I heard you guys are giving out blessings.
Okay. All right. I have to give him that. Yes, that is a good point. If one were on the hunt for blessings, the pizza shop probably is unlikely to be your first stop.
With the pizzas. I could really use one right about now. So I don't want this anymore. Just put it out there. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't like it. Maybe it's not a big thing, but it's a thing that I feel at this time. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Good to know, TJ. Well, go leave TJ some love. Go leave TJ some love over on his video. I'll link it in chat real quick. Because I agree with most of his sentiments. I do think he says some stuff that's a little bit classist, but that's okay. That's okay. He can have a little bit of classism as a treat. Okay. Alright. Now TJ's streaming live. Alright. This is very strange. Co-host Kitty Cat? She is. Phoebe looks at her phone like her grandma. Do I? Do I look at my phone like a grandma? Alright, well, I guess before we check in with TJ, we will check out Matt's bad news. Alrighty. Taylor got away with it. God damn it, Taylor. How did you get away with it? FDA says Taylor Farm cyclospora finding was a false positive. Okay, so this is actually kind of like maybe... No, this is bad news. So, like, honestly, it was like fucked up, like almost good but kind of bad news when they discovered what the infection was originating from originally. This is basically us like finding out, oh no, we don't actually know where it came from. I mean, we know, but we don't know exactly. Like, we don't know exactly 100% sure where it came. July 19, U.S. Food and Drug Administration saw on Sunday laboratory experts recheck lettuce sample results from Taylor Farms in an investigation to an outbreak of the cyclospora parasite and concluded the finding should be considered a false positive. As of Sunday, there were no confirmed positive samples results for cyclospora. Okay, so yeah. So they thought they had it, but no. The FDA on Saturday said that a sample of shredded iceberg lettuce supplied by Taylor Farms tested positive for the parasitic illness that sickened thousands of people in the U.S. Spokesman for Taylor Fresh Foods told Reuters that the company was informed the FDA made a mistake. So yeah, it seems like the cyclospora infection that is ravaging the fucking country right now is going to continue. Anyway, let's check in on Frey. Let's see what TJ's doing. Frey, what you doing? Where's my shit?
Night. I don't know. I ain't got no Disney insights. I can't fucking stand Disney at this point.
Motherfucker. We were just watching him in a video, and now the motherfucker's streaming.
That shit. But then when I saw how badly they were
Go to a
mishandling
TJ
the
raid.
I fucking jettisoned. I'm like, I ain't being part of this.
Fucking Uncle Flanus.
Dog ass shit.
I see you in there.
I ain't fucking with it. I saw it was shit. And I saw what they did with Star Wars. I'm like, man, you guys fucking suck. Do you always stay up all night, then sleep in real late? I just don't sleep. I don't need sleep. I've evolved beyond the need for sleep. I don't fucking sleep at all. I'm up 24/7.
Yeah, so I just told TJ. I just told TJ. I just responded to your latest video. You said some classist stuff, but I agree overall. Fuck blessings.
TJ, I responded to your latest video. You said some classist stuff, but I agree overall. Fuck blessings. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I even fucking put it out there that I ain't being classist about it. How you gonna fucking attack me for that shit? You can't. You silly is what you are. You missed the disclaimer. Because I made it clear it ain't classist. It ain't even remotely goddamn classist, bruh.
Nah, admit it, TJ. You look down on them pizza men.
Would you consider reciting your new book or possibly make an audiobook? Yeah, I got the audio. The audiobook is in the works. But I don't like to tell you motherfuckers that shit because I don't want you to fucking not buy the print one because you're waiting for the audiobook. Some money from my Lord TJ. Good.
Nah. Good night, Margot. Maybe he's streaming because he saw you stream and talking about him. I don't think so.
You ever do debates? Fuck no, I don't do no damn debates. You wanna know my debate style? My opponent says something and then I'm like, fuck you. That's me debating. That's exactly what a classist would say. Alright, fine, you got me. I'm a little classist. All them drugs. I even got this sign here. You can't see it quite. But, I guess it's on the wall. I can maybe back it up. Hold up. God damn it.
Exposed.
Shit. Yeah, there we go.
Alrighty. That was fun. We checked in on TJ.
Notice, this is a
We checked in.
Zoop. Boom, bitch. I've always been part of the 1% secretly. People don't know that shit. Well, I don't like this shot because I'm too small in this shot now. I need to dominate the shot, but you like my sign.
Anyway, man, we've been streaming for a long time tonight. We've been streaming. Man, the phone says we've only been going for 43 minutes, but I know that cannot be the case. I know it's got to be more, so I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. No, I don't buy it. No, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Oh, I don't buy it. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Why does this person look so familiar? I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure this out. I probably don't know this person. I'm probably just thinking that they look familiar, but they really don't. They probably just look like a million people I've known throughout my life. I think we lost Phoebe. She's gone. I'm not, dude. I was trying to figure out if I know this bitch. But I don't think I do. I think I was just confused or something. Hello, everyone. Hello. Guess my membership is gone. Oh, you'll have to renew it. You'll have to renew it. Or you'll have to get a new one. Or someone will have to gift you one. It'll come back. Do you ever do debates? Yes. Sometimes I have in the past participated in a few debates. And coming up this Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific Time, Paul Zigo's going to come on the channel. We're going to have something like a debate. It's not going to be moderated, but I think you'll find it pretty interesting. And I hope everybody can make it there. Eepy peepy, yes. Out there, Phoebe is pretty tired. I'd say she's just about had it for the night. We'll do what I can. Everything is financially rough. Oh, well, then don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I was just letting you know, like, that's what happens. Whenever you get a gifted one, it just kind of happens randomly. But if you've gotten one before, you're more likely to get one in the future. Especially because you did come in and use it and talk and stuff. So, yeah, it'll come back. We get gifted memberships in here pretty fucking often, although I haven't been pushing them as much lately. Mostly because I haven't been pushing funding in general. as much lately, which I think is probably a mistake. I probably need to be better about that. Love your channel. Oh, thank you, Misty. I appreciate that. But yeah, for sure. Just you being here and commenting in the chat helps, you know? Every little bit of every little bit of engagement helps on some level. There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was Ability. I feel like we're basically at the ass end of the stream, and I don't really know what we should talk about at this point. Because I'm kind of eepy-seepy. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, little Phoebe. Marry you, and school. I can't be the bad one for you. Selfish and alone. I'm drinking, and I never owned the gun. But trying myself, turning I will never marry you. I like when you sang the sea shanty. Yeah. Yeah. One morning in March I was digging the line with my brogues on me feet and me spade in me hand, and I said to myself, such a pity to see such a fine strapping lad foot in turf and traily. And I told him and yeah, and I told him and yeah, and I told him and yeah, and yeah. So I buttered me brogues and shook hands with me spade, and I went to the fair like a dashing young babe. Then I met me a sergeant, he asked me to list, and I got Mr. Sergeant stick the bob in me fist. When me told him and yeah, when me told him and yeah, when me told him and yeah, and yeah. Well, they gave me a queer thing, they called it a gun, with powder and ball and a piece full of me thumb. And we told him, yeah, and we told him, yeah, and we told him, yeah, and we told him, yeah. I know, aren't I? I'm musical, but you know what else I am? Sleepy. I'm very, very sleepy. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm gonna get off here because I have nothing left to say. But I appreciate you guys coming in. We never got to talk about any of the big things I wanted to talk about, but that's okay because I'm not too tired to talk about them. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace. There we go.